you're wearing that Montreal Canadian tie. Well, I'm sincerely grateful to have spent so much time on the Weber farm and growing up out there. I'm very honored today to pay tribute to Arnie, a man that I deeply respected and truly admired. From grade 6 through to high school, I stayed at the Weber farm almost every weekend and most nights during the week. It became another son to Myrna and Arnie, and they become my second parents. You know, Kevin and I are the same age. We're 50 now. We're the best of friends, and we did everything together. I got very close to Arnie at the time, growing up at that time. We were always checking cows together, and hauling bales and fixing fence and stopping by for hot chocolate at all the neighbors. And he was my hero. I loved being out there and we had such good times. There was always somebody stopping in out at that Weber farm, all those relatives, tall and short. Wally and Doug, Bert, Lawrence Schmidt, the Hilliards, the Mohrs, good neighbors and good friends. Arnie was outside, always working with the animals and doing chores, and Myrna was in the house, in the garden, or laughing and always happy out there. Debbie and Sheldon were on the piano. There was always a radio playing, and there was lots of music. And then there was little Lyle. He was quite the little character. He was always punching someone in the gut or something like that. We nicknamed him Punch. The nice part about that is, Lyle, you reap what you sow. So you're in a real hell raising here in the next few years. Be prepared for some stitches and some broken hearts. Arnie was quite a romantic bugger back in the day. You know, if he wasn't on the ice or on a ball diamond, I mean, he was, he took Myrna out there on one of the dates to the Mohr Hotel. And Myrna still has the salt and pepper shaker that they gave her for being the first woman in the Mohr Hotel on that first date, or that date that Arnie took her out. He thought he was playing hockey or something, and what else are you going to do after a big game but take your date out to the bar? So we moved to Sheldon when we were in grade 6. I was a town kid. Kevin and I got to be buds, and Arnie put Kevin and I to work on the farm. We're doing chores, milking, hauling bales, and butchering. Again, one of Arnie's favorite things to do. First time I butchered pigs, someone come up, that was Sheldon. That was a town guy doing. He looked over at me and said, well, he's getting pretty thin over there. Which really meant he's just about ready to throw up. Now, I did throw up a few times over the farm, but it wasn't for butcher pigs. And the card game that they were saying earlier, that men against the women, yeah, that really caused trouble enough right there. Arnie was one of the best card players I ever knew. Somehow he could count cards. I didn't know how he did it. You see that he knew what everybody at the table was holding pretty much all the time. And I saw him pick lots of guys under the table, like he was saying, for playing wrong or making the wrong read or something like that. If the women would win, there was tons of ribbing after that for the rest of the evening. He gave us an old granary out back there. We called that the Sugar Shack. Me and Kevin remodeled it, and we slept out there, and we had our good times out there. They could hear us stomping to the music from the house out there. He'd wake us for chores in the morning. He'd throw rocks at the side of the building to get us to wake up. We'd get out and help out, and spend lots of fun times back in the old Sugar Shack that Arnie let us have back in the day. There was always 22 shells. We could always find rovers to shoot. There's always a Ford truck or a little Ford tractor or something to drive around. Let us do the things that we liked to do back then. We could drive anywhere except along the highway. You know, could go on the highway or the good roads, but pretty much anywhere else he said that would be fine. So he was quite patient with us. We got hell when we deserved it. I mean, like time Kevin, we got the old red Ford, and we got it because it ran out of brakes. And Arnie bought a brand new blue Ford car, and Arnie and Myrna went to Edmonton, and we stayed home to do the chores and haul bales. And we made a half-mile racetrack along the highway there, and we started racing cars along the edge of the highway. And we were pretty good. You know, we pulled up beside this blue Ford car, a pretty new blue Ford car, and then we started racing that one, and it turned into the lane, and Kevin and I looked at each other. And we got a little help for that one. You know, there's always, you know, every once in a while that some nieces from Edmonton or somewhere from Regina or come to town, these giggling gals that used to always come around and visit when I was around. I knew there'd be a water fight breaking out sometime. Arnie would usually be leading the charge on that. He was one of the fastest runners I knew with a 5-gallon pail of water on him. One of the farm shack was always out there helping. You know, without shack, pretty much Arnie couldn't do much of the farming because, you know, we heard a bunch of ball playing and all the good times that we had because shack, we needed him to keep the fields going and all that. We don't remember about Shack, because you know what, Kevin, we found a lot of them early magazines that Shack had hitting up the roof up there. But having Shack around did give Arnie lots of time to do the things he loved to do, which was ball tournaments, church picnics, and hockey games and coaching. Saturday nights were haircut nights. I mean, I thought, hey, did you do that too? Yeah, I did that too. I cut Arnie's hair and trimmed those fantastic Alva sideburns and his eyebrows, and then he started getting me cut inside his ear. And I nipped him once. I drew a little blood. He jumped a bit, and his tongue, he growled at me, "Ah, careful!" Just the same way he used to motivate us playing hockey, biting that tongue, and we would shove for him. Finally, whoever knows. Now, Arnie was one tough dude, and he wore the scars to prove it. When he looked down at you with that broken nose, and he pointed at you with that crooked old finger, and he knew darn well he meant business. So one time he was pointing at me in the dressing room, and I didn't know who he was pointing at. I didn't think he was pointing at me. I thought he was pointing at Stephanie or somebody beside me. So I said, did you mean me? He got his tongue out of me. Yes, you. Couldn't tell we were looking at. The Weber nose seemed to be rite of passage into being a tough enough guy to play hockey on his team. Stokey broke his first, Freddie did his second, and finally Kevin got his. He come to the bench, his eyes were watering. Good, finally got one. And then finally got one. He said, a Weber nose. He had a nice little straight fight nose before that. Then he broke his finger in football one time. He said, I got Arnie Weber finger now. Arnie played hockey in Mohr and was part of 3 winning provincial senior provincial C championships. He played in Q-Bar and he played in Sheldon. He played tons of fastball and was one of the best pitchers in Saskatchewan. Who can forget the famous Arnie Weber orthodox pitching style that he mastered? He threw it hard, he threw it up, he threw it down. Do it fast, and do it slow. He played on teams from Hazelwood to the Regina Royals, a senior A team in Regina, managed by Kathy Kaplan. He's one of the founders of Southern Playboys. When he played sports, he played to win, and sports, were his passion. So the time came when they started smacking his ride ball, and maybe his drop ball dropped a little too early, and his changeup, someone tagged one, put it on, and he parked on him. When the younger hockey players got a little faster and made it tougher for them to chase down, because they're skating way around Weber back there, number 2 or whatever number he wore back then, because they didn't want to deal with 200 pounds of hard-hitting shoulders and elbows and anything else Arnie could throw at him. He's been known to throw his false teeth at people. Arnie turned his passion in sports to coaching. And we were lucky guys to coach, where he put all this time and energy back in the day. So about 1970 to 78, Arnie coached us fellas in fastball and hockey. And Lyle, you got him in the mid-80s. He even attempted to coach the girls, like Shelley's girls ball team, but there is no crying in baseball. So he couldn't do the girls, to coach the girls. So he focused back on us Cowboys. we listened. I asked a few guys what were some of Arnie's things that he said to us that picked us up when we were skating, when we weren't skating. We had good tuning. No one could really put their finger on it. There was no favorite saying he said on the ice. We just knew when he bellered, we darn well jumped, and we put it into another gear, and we played a little better hockey, and we skated a little faster and a little harder. And he knew when it was time to yell, and he knew when it was time to back off. I remember bus trips back from Gull Lake or provincial playoffs when we'd be in the back playing it a little bit too much, and about 3/4 of the way home, we'd call it 9 o'clock in the morning practice. And one of those famous skate across, jump the boards, skate back, jump the boards. And that meant goalies too. We all showed up, we worked hard for it, and I think we became better hockey players. I mean, we won some good championships because of our dedication to being there on time and listening to a good coach at the time. On the ball field, who could ever forget Arnie's yelling, "Who's got it?" When one went up in the air. He taught our pitchers how to pitch, our catchers how to catch. And he showed us how to read a batter and how to position ourselves in the field. We learned how to steal a base, shag a fly ball. He played the game, and he showed us how to play the game. When his eyesight got real bad, he became an umpire. When his eyesight became real bad, he became an umpire. I thought that was classic. Dennis Cook and Arnie coached us to 5 provincial championships, so 1 Western Canadian. 72, 73 Kiwi boys, 75 Bantam boys, 76, 77 midget, 76 midget Western Canadian chaps. That was fastball. Hockey, Charlie Schuler and Howard Semenuk and they all coached and helped us. 2 provincial SAHA Provincial C Provincial Championships, 76, 77 season was midget, and 77, 78 was juvenile. They helped Lyle's team go to a provincial championship in Bantam in 85, 86. An Albert Einstein quote that I found was, "Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value." In 1977, he received an outstanding award from the SHA for his outstanding contribution to hockey. In 86, he received an award for his outstanding service to minor ball from Softball Canada. He's got my vote to be inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame in Saskatchewan. One of his recent fond memories was he saw the homecoming parade. After 30 years and 30 to 50 pounds more, all the boys came home to ride the float around the homecoming parade we had here. We all went over to Arnie Murdis in the afternoon and spent some time in the backyard. We all talked about the time. It was happy to see all of us players in there that game. And then after that, all he talked about was the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Calgary Flames, and the boys that came home that day back in the Keep Our Home. The Weber reunion was another fantastic day for Arnie. One would have guessed that Arnie's team, the Arnie Weber family, would enter a team and obviously won the prize trophy. It was a 12-inch replica of a cream can. His remains are in that cream can. We put up North Sullivan. Arnie's stay at the Keep Our Hope was the best thing. Murder was close. And family and friends were close. And he was comfortable, and he was in excellent care. Murder off to say thanks. Ladies from the home. I will end with this quote. When a man has done his best, has given his all, and in the process supplied the needs of his family and his society, that man has made a habit of succeeding. Oh, Cap, my Cap, our prayerful sisters, rest in peace. Thank you.